Hello, I am Mindy and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about a highly sensitive person and 10 characteristics that could mean that you are a highly sensitive person and what to do to design a life that adapts or adjusts better to your highly sensitivity. But before I start, I want to ask you to please like my video and subscribe so you show me that you actually like and appreciate my content. Also check out my Ko-fi page down below so you can give your donations for my channel, and I will drink coffees on your name for sure. And I also offer one-on-one sessions as a coach, so check out all of the subjects on my channel. I can help you also if you're a highly sensitive person. Remember that this video is not a medical advice, it's a video based on my experience, and I want to share also how I navigate life as a highly sensitive person. The first characteristic I'm going to mention in this video is you do not like sports in groups. You actually notice that you prefer to do sports on your own because it seems like being exposed to a group, it gives you anxiety, or maybe you end up tired, or you notice that you just don't want to, you don't feel motivated when you listen. You hear the idea of a friend of joining a group of like a team of some sort. Before I continue, by the way, I want to say also that if you do not feel identified with what I'm saying, specifically with a sports group, but maybe it's something like groups in general, so try to adjust it to your own case, but try to check the data I'm telling you just like as a guideline that you're going to use to check out if you are maybe compatible with these characteristics I'm giving you. So me personally, I always liked solo running, working out at home. I don't even like the gym. I can do it and I do it for some periods of times, but I noticed that being in an environment with a lot of people, it's overwhelming for me. So I knew this before. I knew I was a highly sensitive person, and I would advise, if you are just like me, you feel overwhelmed with groups, that you stop saying yes just because you want to be kind and social with your friends, but better choose for yourself and see your friends maybe in other settings that are less annoying for you, because that's something as a highly sensitive person, maybe some scenarios or environments are going to be more annoying than others, and that's just like it varies per person. Number 2, colleagues overly stimulate you. So one thing for sure is that I know I'm a highly sensitive person just 2 months ago, right? It's just recent, but my whole life I struggled with having colleagues and with going to a workspace and the interaction with people on and on. I just noticed that it drained me. I remember I went back home after the office and I sometimes would cry, sometimes I would just feel like overwhelmed, I would have headaches, I didn't want to talk the whole evening, I wouldn't want to see friends after. Some people energizes after office to go and see their colleagues more. I didn't want to go for the drink after office, and if I ever did, it was always too much. It always felt like people was too much for me. So if the colleagues overstimulate you, and because you as a highly sensitive person, you're always kind of downloading information, you're reading the other people, you're feeling what they're going through, and it's really tiring. So if you go through this, you could consider it, just like myself, to work on your own. For me, there is no better feeling in the whole world than working on my own terms, not having a boss who's telling me what to do and not what blah, and having the whole environment for myself and just navigating my daily work on my own. Some people say to me, like now during COVID, that they're bored at home because they went to see colleagues. I never felt bored. I always love it being alone. So if this is your case, try to design a life, slowly think of a side job or a side part-time freelancing thing that can help you to slowly move out of having colleagues all the time. Okay, number 3, routine. Routine is overwhelming for me as a highly sensitive person. It can be overwhelming for other people as well. Why? because you push yourself to do things in a particular order, to go to certain places and see certain people, and it can be just too much. Unless the routine is something that doesn't involve moving from one place to another and seeing people. Like, just to give an example, routine, like I mean, like, what if you wake up at 5 in the morning and you go running with a group of runners, and then you come back home, and then you shower, and then you do a yoga at the yoga studio next door, then you come back home, then you go to the office, and you go to the office in a bus. So you have every single day all of that. First of all, it can be tiring, the whole repetition thing. And sorry, it was a bit dark. And second of all, the whole seeing, like the routine maybe exposes you to see more people and to see more objects, and all of this visual and emotional stimuli that can overwhelm you. So try to design a life that is calmer. That is just one first main advice. Number 4, searching for options, solutions, anything kind of online, searching for a new insurance, searching for a travel insurance, trying to find the best vacation hotel in I don't know, Mexico, if you're going to Mexico on vacation, whatever that is. It just can feel too much, again, because you're visually moving from one website to the other, because you're comparing one price to the other, and it's too much external stimuli for the highly sensitive mind. Number 5, and this is a very personal of mine, IKEA is the worst place for me. What this means is being in places that are just overly charged, like with too many items. So imagine going on like a day to a homeware center, a shopping mall, or in this case IKEA. It can be also a shopping mall. So you're walking and you're going on a kind of trail, right? And you have to go and turn and take many turns, and in every turn you have a lot of items, a lot of things that you're looking. And in order to get from the entrance to, let's say you go to buy cutlery, to get there you have to cross the whole shopping, and you're gonna be looking at a lot of things. I remember before I knew I was a highly sensitive, just in December, we went to IKEA, and there were, of course, many things. I remember by the end of the day, and we went to IKEA 3 days in a row, I believe it was. I was sick. I felt by the end of the IKEA thing, I had headaches. I felt dizzy. So that's one other way that I feel dizzy. I felt tired. I didn't want to talk. And 3 days in a row going to IKEA, I remember telling my friends, I cannot do this anymore. And that was because I was just rearranging my workspace at home and all of that. So it was just like too much. So getting a lot of impressions from, a lot of items and see, like visually, it's just overwhelming. Well, now I haven't had the chance, like I haven't had the need to go to one mall or, all of those things, but I would definitely consider going less times and do it like more efficiently. It's just go once and do whatever you need to do in one day so you don't suffer more. That's one advice. Number 6, TV. TV is also something that can be too much. And of course, everybody wants to watch a series or a movie or something like that. But binge watching, it feels just bad in my skin. Binge watching means like in one day, I'm gonna watch 2, 3, 4 seasons of one series. I cannot do that. If I ever watch one full season of something, it's because it was 4 episodes and it was half an hour every episode. But it just feels too much. So again, the advice is do not cross your own limits and listen to yourself. And maybe perhaps you're not aware that this has been happening to you, but notice, how did you feel after? If after watching a series and you were perhaps enjoying it, but after that you feel like you cannot hold the world anymore, you feel drained, you feel empty, you feel sad, you feel like you want to cry, you feel like you don't like people anymore, you feel grumpy, this is a good sign for you to consider that perhaps doing this whole marathon of movies or of series is not something for you. 7, family, and like living in a, like coming from a BC family we were 3 children at home, mom and dad, and it was all the time chaos and always something happening, and sharing the rooms with my sisters, it was just like it was too much for me. And I know of other highly sensitive people. I've been looking online, and they also, even people who has babies, for instance, or have their own homes, now they cannot deal with it because it's too much things happening around their environments. It's really tough. I think that one, I didn't know that, and I don't have children myself. So when I used to live with my parents, that was really hard. It was tough. And maybe perhaps one of the toughest experiences of my life, because I didn't know I was a highly sensitive person. But if you know you're a highly sensitive person, you need to involve your family and in that conversation. Tell them what you're going through, what you feel. And actually, it's hard for people with whom you live to explain, like, hey, if I'm around and you scream or you, I don't know, you raise your voice, I get, restless, for instance. It's hard for some people to understand, because it's like, but they can say, but I didn't raise my voice, So there needs to be a communication and an understanding from both sides. And also maybe when you notice that the tone of the conversation is rising because they're getting too excited, or because I don't know, if there are children are fighting with one another, it's good to step out and go to your bathroom. If you don't have the space, go to the bathroom, go for a walk, try to do something, but that time is just important to recharge. Number 8, sudden changes make the HSP unbalanced. And this can be from changes as in the house to having to move countries, having to switch from one job to the other. All of these things are just like almost trauma experiences. Sounds like wow, but it is. One example I want to give you, and this is a very personal example, is when something is moved in my place. I noticed that, okay, in the kitchen, I know how things are, and I just find them functional as they are. But then someone moves in, and where something used to be, it's not there anymore, because they think that was not the best place for it to be, whatever. So then I come there, and then I don't see the things that used to be there. Number one, it's like a visual shock. For highly sensitive, it's a visual shock that it's painful almost. It changes your mood, it changes your your emotions, and it's something visual that somehow the visual thing is just kind of merges with your body, with your sensations, and makes you feel sick and grumpy, and it's inexplicable. Imagine if that happens with something that's moved from a rack in the kitchen, and if you put that's a small example, you amplify it to having to move countries because of your job. It's relocating you every year to one new place, or not even. Maybe they're sending you to travel, and then in the trips you need to see a lot of people, and you're always moving and checking in one hotel, checking out. I can tell you that I don't like. I'm right now in Ecuador, and I'm settled in one place for 1 month or perhaps more, because I noticed that when I travel often, I just feel unwell. So I don't want to do that to myself anymore. So for the sudden changes at home, it's good as well if you live with someone that you let them know what happens with you. And I'm sure that if they love you, they will understand that it's not that you're trying to be difficult as they thought I was, but that's something that happens just within you. You don't have a control upon that. 9, being very excited about something, and therefore you pour yourself into that because you're very excited, as highly sensitive people do. If you're excited, you're very excited and you love it. Just to soon after end up drained. So imagine you think that how on earth I love so much, let's say, me making YouTube videos. Why is this goes a bit darker? I love very much coming here and every so often making videos. I make a bunch of videos every now and then, like every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. I would sit down and I would make videos as they come. But because I'm so excited, and as you can see, I just sit here and I flow and I come and I tell ideas and all of that, I go 1 video, 2 videos, 3 videos, 4 videos, 5 videos. By the 5th one, I'm tired, but I'm excited at the same time. And I go 6, 7. I have done 8 videos in one set. So that's like 8 videos, and my channel is like 2 months of content equivalent. Of course, I don't put them perhaps because later on I have a new idea. So I will film it and I will put it in between. But you know, like I have a buffer of videos because I get overly excited. Now, because I learned this myself and I'm sharing my own case, I don't do that anymore. Even if I am super excited, I prefer to do with that excitement something else, like go and cook. Then I stop and I go to the kitchen and then I make an amazing meal, and then I rest, and then, you know, I turn off the devices, put airplane mode, because I know that that makes me well. For instance, today I'm recording 3 videos. This is my second video of 3. Yesterday I recorded also 3 videos, but before I would have recorded 6 videos in one go perhaps. But no, 3 videos yesterday, I stopped and I moved on. So that's something that you can play with. If you get very excited with a project, with, you know, maybe playing with your friends and like even Nintendo, whatever things you want, your PlayStation, I think it is. I don't play anything of that. And let's say you spend like 5 hours playing because it's so exciting, but at some point you end up drained. Just don't do 5 hours, and maybe just do 2. And then when you still feel this excitement, go and do something else with that excitement that it can change your energy. So maybe instead of doing that, go and I don't know, play music, do karaoke, I don't know, something of that sort. And also try to minimize the external inputs. For instance, if I make a video, what's happening is like I have notes on my iPad and I'm always kind of reading the notes, even though I don't come here to read everything, but I just read it, I revise it, and so I come here and I talk. But it's reading the iPad. Then I have to set up my studio, my mobile studio. Then I revise what I just recorded. So it's a lot of steps and a lot of things that need to happen that can drain me. And so when I go and I cook, then I don't have to use devices. I don't have to use the phone. I don't have to check on anything, you know. I just go to the kitchen and then I change from one very stimulating experience that is creating these videos for you guys to, you know, just cutting tomatoes and onions and frying things and maybe singing. And sometimes I don't even play music. So that can, you know, it's just trying to play and balance out the activities and having too many elements of something and then doing something with less elements, basically. And my last one characteristic is number 10. Hungry means angry. I thought it was irrational the way I felt when I was hungry. I remember clearly one time I was driving back from a vacation. So we were driving from Belgium to the Netherlands with a friend. She was driving and I was helping her with the navigation of the maps. And that's a short ride. That was, how many hours was that? Not even, maybe 2 hours or something like that. But I was hungry. And the more, like, maybe we left half an hour, I was already hungry. And I don't know, I think I'm hungry quite often. And if I don't eat and I didn't have anything to eat, then my mind just blocks itself and I get angry and I get irrational. I cannot speak, I cannot talk. So she was telling me, but okay, you didn't tell me that I had to do that, like take that exit, for instance. I was like, yeah, I was telling you, but I was just speaking so low that she didn't hear me because it was noisy and something like that. So I couldn't raise my voice, and then I just was more silent, and then I was grumpy, and she was like, but what's happening to you? I was like, I'm just very hungry. She's like, I'm also hungry. But you know, the thing is, if you're not a highly sensitive person, you have no idea what does that feel in that body for that highly sensitive person to be hungry. So this is a very practical advice, but keep something in your pocket, in your backpack for you. And again, one important tool just for every one of these things, these characteristics I mentioned, is to communicate, to make it something that you can talk about with the close people in your life, even at work, if you need to say it because you get drained and maybe you need to work half of the time at home and not the full day at the office, then you need to say it because that's gonna help you to have a happier life. In the end, it's all about feeling balanced. It's about, you know, being aware, taking care of yourself. So that's now for that's all for now. That's now for all. What I was going to say. Well, I hope you liked this video. Please leave your comments down below. I want to hear your experience. If you agree with what I'm saying, if you recognize yourself or not. If you have someone you love who's also a highly sensitive person, put it down in the comments. And I love you all. Thank you for being here and supporting my channel. And see you next time. Bye.